God be with you.
You go and rent
You
your
silly
coffee.
doggy.
You're trolling all over.
If they hadn't have backed down, you'd have been fucked. But I knew they'd back down. You know how it is. When it's about hops, they wouldn't dare go against them. Ale will be brewed at Bohemia, even if the people have to go without bread. Thank God for that.
God be with you, my friend.
And with you. You silly doggy.
Greetings to you.
All right. You caught me. I surrender. You're a wanted man. You've been loitering around here where you shouldn't have, and I've received reports of things going missing. Don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft. You'll pay a fine, and if I don't find those things on you, you'll pay for them too.
Shit on his hands and don't
How
give
dare
him
you
the
accuse me like that?
fucking thief.
Like some ordinary peasant. Do you have any idea who I am? I apologize, my lord. I must have made a mistake. Let's just forget about this.
Have you seen Bailiff? You thought you'd get away with it, did you?
Grinning like a daisy on that donkey. Puffed up like a peacock.
So what?
I ran into Agnes today.
Hey, Maria.
Christ, pardon me.
Gah! Quick!
Whoa!
Quick! Quick! Gah! Go!
Hey!
Whoa!
With me?
Greetings, my friend.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this, but let's get going.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. You don't need your horse. I'll stable him here. It'll be heaven for him. In any case, heaven's always close here. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Plain? Aesop? Come on, then. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, not exactly. I'm not even from this region. I'm only doing some work for the miller.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that bunny of yours belong to that gang too?
Unfortunately, she does. Crazel ordered Bonnie and her accomplice Zinek to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties. And when they had a chance to loiter about in the yards here in the region, well, they made good use of the opportunity to line their purses.
Ay, ay, ay. What have I gotten myself into in my twilight years? Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Come on. Come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
It looks mysterious. What treasures might be hidden there?
You'll soon see. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
Haven't you and your lassie stolen enough already?
What do you mean already? What luck? Hey,
Put that carcass down and get over here. You hear me?
What's going on, Ignatius?
I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
Two stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Take a good look at me. Do I look like a thief? Or more like a commonplace, maybe just slightly grubby, hired hand? At this rate, you could blame any old peasant who's grimy after a hard day's work.
I don't know. I don't reckon I've ever seen a real thief up close.
Ask around about me and you'll find out everyone knows I can't stand a liar. I'll keep my promises and show up on time. So enough talk and let's carry on to where duty calls us.
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them two thieves, you tell us right away. Got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas. Maybe...
What now?
That's right.
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on, and let's go.
Here we go, Walter. Don't worry.
That was just a kind of little favor for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
Can't you do that dirty work yourself?
And what good would you be to me then? To tell me jokes? Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop them up and haul them off. I mean, you scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
And then Satan himself appeared in the sky. Happens all the time.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right. I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly. Lazy bones.
Greetings to you.
Jesus. This is disgusting.
Been bothering the Nabokov folks too. That'll all be over today.
God reward you for it.
God don't reward me much, but I'll probably get something from the bailiff for hauling.
Well, I wish you and your helper lots of luck today. May God bless you.
You too. You too.
Jesus. This is disgusting.
Where are we going to find 2 new pigs? More money out the window.
Do you want to keep going or not?
Praise the Lord.
pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream. Ah, here it is. Wolves must have killed them. It didn't even eat them up. I'll go and tell Ignatius. It really wasn't a curse. There are rotting carcasses in the water upstream from the watering spot. No wonder the pigs caught some disease.
Well, what do you know? I was right. I'll give you a hand. It'd take you all night on your own.
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
Nice work. There's even a bit of meat left for me.
Yeah, you'd eat that. They've been lying there God knows how long.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, you won't be eating it, so don't worry about it. Let's keep going. Seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
I'm sorry, Ignatius, my friend. You can't expect me to do that.
In that case, as soon as we get where we're going, you can just get off the wagon and go and look for that pitch yourself. If you don't do what I tell you, you're useless to me. So I'll be useless to you too.
Maybe there's another way. I'll try to come up with something.
Ha! That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Lazy bones.
God, you're all covered in blood.
I hear you have some wild dog here.
What? You're the wild dog, you wretch. If you're another of them bastards trying to steal him or poison him, you'd better make yourself scarce before I set him on you. Be with you, sir.
Sacra. The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? Barking. He's coming from over there.
What are you doing here, Henry? Where'd you come from?
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
First, tell me what you're doing here. And how come you're with that beast?
He's no beast. I came here to save him.
You mean steal him?
For him, it'll be a redemption from that horse and master of his. I'll take care of him, in place of my poor dead sniffer.
Bonnie... The gravedigger sent me to kill the dog. He's been paid to do it by the people whose livestock that beast killed. It's the last thing I need to do before he shows me the pit.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zenek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
Ah, you hungry beast.
Are we going?
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? How? I hope you didn't go soft after wasting your time talking to Vizar.
The dog is dead. So, can we go to the pit now?
Dead, eh? And what are you so nervous about?
Well, it wasn't pleasant to watch. I did it exactly how you told me. I poisoned him.
Oh, aye. And how did it go exactly?
Well, I dipped the meat in poison. He ate it, and peacefully departed to doggy heaven.
So, it all went how it should. I use a real strong mixture so the creatures don't suffer too much. He's done for, the beast. Finally. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more nitre you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. I'll just tell Crazel where you have it. I don't know if he'll take something away.
Maybe he'll just make his own pit according to your design.
Now that would be a great honor.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I can't say I'm all that satisfied with your help, but I don't want you to think old Ignatius is an ungrateful bastard, so I have something here for you. Although, to tell the truth, you didn't much grow on me.
Well, that's a shame, because I thought you were a pretty good fella. In fact, I'm actually kind of fond of you in a way.
If you're trying to come out smelling of roses now, don't bother. Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see. You didn't have to make such a feast of it.
Look at me. I'm a Lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold and salty. This must be it. If you're going back to your cottage, I'd like to take a ride with you.
Remember how I told you I didn't like you? Well, that still goes. Have a nice walk, stretch your legs.
God bless you, pilgrim. It's never too late for a good deal.
I'm interested in this. Are you going far, Goodman?
Well, define far. Enough to be apprehensive, huh? You know how it is. If you as much as stick your nose out the door these days, someone will punch it.
I see you're in no danger, though. Fully armed with bonhomie.
Yes, well, mercifully, we apothecaries haven't any enemies. Who would bite the hand that's relieving their pain, eh?
You say you're skilled in the art of healing?
Well, I'm no physician, but I do know my ointments for whatever ails you. For ulcers, salvation, beauty. Wenzel Torvald, Master Apothecary, at your service. Of the famed establishment in Turnau. Hey, hey!
Where are you coming from?
I was paying my respects to my brother Oswald in Kuttenberg when I was called away on a case.
What case would that be?
Ah, well, by all accounts, it was an unsavory affair. A young girl murdered, only for her to up and bolt from the mortuary.
What? Are you serious?
Primo, she was never actually dead. Secundo, it was poison that placed her in that death-like state. Et tandem tertiam et finale. She brought it upon herself. So, as I say, it's an unsavory business when a young girl is driven out of her senses by a philandering nobleman.
Do you have anything interesting to sell?
If it's herbs you're after, or alchemy you're interested in, then you're welcome to take a look. Danke, das war ein gutes Geschäft, mein Herr.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskovitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Krazel, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then, what's the next task then, Krazel?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
Can you get to the point? What's this about?
Scribe Erezine received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. And from an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
So I'm gonna have to pick some locks again, eh? And in the castle, no less. I'd like to know how I'm supposed to get in there. Trotsky is shut tight.
For some. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Certainly. It's why I decided to work for you. Or have you forgotten? I hope your promise still stands.
Of course it does. What do you take me for? Start getting ready. I see you've already got a fine outfit. Ad charisma tuendum. St. Paul would be pleased.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the two of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
And who is this mysterious person?
A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty. And she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push. And clunk! The lock will open, and the book will be mine.
What weak spot?
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon, he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, he'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
I can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
Ah. And I'm gonna look for one, right?
Who else? Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
Could Bonnie do it?
She could. The only hitch is everyone and his dog knows her face. Nobody with any sense would let her into the Samine wedding.
I'm not a matchmaker.
Who's talking about matchmaking? You go and show what's on offer. That's all. Nothing improper will happen, most likely. But even so, we need a woman who's ready for anything. You can find lots of capable girls at the Gelioff baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Dorothy owns the bathhouse?
Aye, next to the alehouse there. You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
Can't Zinnek take care of it?
Zenek's even worse with women than he is with lockpicks. You, on the other hand, you're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, we're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mintha would be ideal.
Where can I find the dress?
Where do you think? The butcher's? Go and see the tailor. Bartoszek has just the thing in his shop. A beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade.
Why that dress exactly?
Because red is the color of love and passion. And rich Tyrolean brocade is just begging to be touched. Ulrich won't know where to look. The dress is likely to be pretty expensive. But that's no obstacle for you, right?
Where can I find the perfume?
Emmerich the apothecary might have something. They say he makes some perfume for his wife. Or ask Betty the innkeeper. She may be a god-awful battle axe, but a nice-smelling one. Or get hold of the recipe and make your own mintha. As an alchemy apprentice, you should be able to manage.
I'll be going then.
Once you've got everything ready for the wedding, we'll meet in front of the fortress gate. There, I'll let our lady in on some other details of our plan. But that won't be for your ears. Anyway, you'll be rehearsing your speech to Lord von Berghoff then, won't you?
I can't wait. That's bloody deep.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
Greeting. How can I help?
Captain, what'll happen with that robber baron from Apollonia now that we've captured him?
You mean Jules? He'll stay with us. Lord Samine has already taken him on.
Why did he take on a bandit? I have to admit he's a skillful swordsman, but he's still just a common bandit.
Not so common. They say he's of noble birth, so Lord Samine didn't have much choice.
Do you think you can trust him?
Don't worry. If Jules doesn't prove himself, Lord Samine won't trust him.
Such a good swordsman could prove to be quite handy.
True. If he proves himself, that is.
Then how should he do that?
Clearly, we didn't wipe out his old gang of bandits in Apollonia. So he's got to catch the rest of his people that are still on the rampage.
Should we have a practice fight?
What would you like? Practice weapons or proper steel?
A real fight. Let's make it ring.
All right. Will you make do with just me, or should I have someone join me?
I'll manage with just you.
On guard, lad. Take that! I surrender. You beat me, but can you do it again?
I'd be happy to try if you give me a chance.
We can continue tomorrow. After all, I'm no spring chicken anymore.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
All right. Why the hell not? Fighting with a longsword is all the rage, but it's not for me. You know what they say about old dogs learning new tricks and all that? But there is one thing I've learned, so I'd be glad to show it to you if you're interested.
That sounds good. Teach me that.
So this technique is when, during a deep thrust, you unexpectedly drop your right hand from the sword, and then you can get much farther with your left hand. It's just like a sting, right between the opponent's eyes. Now come and try it a few times, lad. You'll never learn it just by wagging your tongue. Lad.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
All right. Why the hell not? As long in the tooth as I am, I can tell you most men who pick up a sword know little or nothing of it. So it's best to just forget about any tricks and simply send them to the ground with one quick slash. Would you like me to show you?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
All right. Now where was I? Oh, right. How to bring a bloke down before he finds the hole you made in him. Well, first you hit him a few times from the right, and then at the same time, you slash him in the throat with a step to the right. Aye, a seriously fast and deadly hit, especially when your opponent is a dumb bumpkin. Now come and try it a few times, lad. You'll never learn it just by wagging your tongue. Lad. Good?
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
I'd like to improve my sword play.
I'll tell you some interesting things. Careful.
Good day.
Come on now.
What happened? Why are you all covered in blood?
Have you already taken care of your band?
Don't you start with that too.
So you didn't.
After you attacked me in Apollonia, I'm so battered I can hardly wipe my own arse. Old man Samine will just have to be a bit more patient.
What if I helped you?
Well, well, someone fancies himself.
I can handle a few footpads.
These aren't any ordinary footpads. They're a bunch of the most depraved whoresons I've ever met. Would you dare to take them on?
Yeah. Just tell me what I need to do.
So listen up. From what I've heard, there's another 4 of those scum roaming the countryside. I'd bet my boots that a few more will hitch up with them in time, so it won't be easy. You can start with Canker.
Canker? Interesting name. Why is he called that?
He already had that name when he joined us. I reckon they started calling him that on account of how he's rotten to the core.
If you say so.
Hey, don't be cheeky, youngster.
Where can I find him?
I don't know. I only know that he and his band were ambushing travelers on the road from Troskovitz to the Nabokov Mill.
So how do you want to find him then?
Easy. I'd wait for him to find me. With a little luck, he'll ambush you in one of those places too. Or one of his people will.
You don't have a better idea?
What did you expect? That I'd search the whole forest for him? Go ahead and try and find him that way if you like. But I think you're more likely to roll straight 6s and dice.
What do you know about Canker?
Well, he likes to disguise himself as a monk and ambush travelers. He looks convincing in a robe. But otherwise, he's an awful heathen. Always drunk. Just like the rest of his band.
That could be useful.
Definitely. If you get lucky.
What do you know about his band?
Not much. We've never seen them all together, so I can't even tell you how many of them there are. But there won't be many. Canker has never dared tackle anything too big. Usually just some poor souls on their travels.
Again, how did you say I'll find him?
Either you search this entire ravine above the Nabokov mill, or you let them ambush you there. Either Canker will do it himself, or his people will.
That's enough for me.
Well, good luck, lad. Oh, and I almost forgot. When you're done, bring me Canker's mace. As proof.
I'll think about it.